Oh, here we go. We're up.
Come on, man. I don't mess around.
I'm here. We are here. Amazing Grace Sports Network. I'm here. Clay Morris. This is Erick James. We are in cold, cold Boston right now. But we're gonna warm it up. Warm it up. You should have played crisscross. Warm it up, Chris. What we got? I think Erickson wanted these nice moves.
Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. We are here in America, doing it up, doing it right. We're gonna get it nice and tight for you. The NBA on Thursday. We discuss everything that happened in the NBA on Wednesday, what happened Wednesday night, and then we go into what to expect in the Western Conference on Thursday, or what's been going on in the Western Conference. And I can tell you, in the Western Conference, ain't much happening. We'll get into that later. We're going to start off with the Atlanta Hawks. The Atlanta Hawks traveled to Washington, D.C. Yes, they did. Traveled to Washington, D.C. to take on the Washington Wizards. And if you took the Wizards if you took the home team, you lost. You didn't lose by much, but you lost. It was 122 to 120, 122 to 120. Yep. The Wizards failed again. Now, how did this happen? How did the Wizards lose? Well, I'll tell you how. I want you to. This is going to be interesting. I wish I could push this box score up on the screen so you can see it, but let me run through it. The Atlanta Hawks, everybody on their starting squad scored double figures. That's right. John Collins, 29 minutes, 14 points. DeAndre Hunter, 30 minutes, 15 points. Clint Capella, 25 minutes, 13 points. Trae Young, 33 minutes, 28 points. And DeJounte Murray, 39 minutes, 17 points. Now, that doesn't seem like it's a great big deal, right? But it was. And they even got some points off the bench. My man Bogdanovich, he was 14 points out in 24 minutes. And then you had Jalen Johnson, who played 19 minutes and got 10 points. The bench scored 35 points in total. And though nobody scored over 30 on the whole team, starters or bench players, they win the game. Listen to this. Kyle Kuzma for the Washington Wizards, 35 minutes, 25 points. Kristaps Porzingis played 30 minutes, had 43 points. Bradley Beal played 37 minutes, had 24 points. And you're thinking, wow, they're gonna blow the Hawks out. Nope, because Daniel Gafford, Mr. Daniel Gafford played 23 minutes and had 4 points. And Mr. Wright played 32 minutes and had 7 points. That was the difference right there. Two of the players that played for Washington didn't get double figures. Matter of fact, one of them didn't even get close. He had 4 points. The other one had 7.
Well, Porzingis carried one of them. So if one of them had done a little better, the other one needed to do a little better. The other one did a little better. They would have did all right.
There was right there. There it is for you right there, Washington. You got 2 weak spots, and this isn't the first time that Daniel Gafford has laid the eggs. Matter of fact, he's been like this all season. Don't know why the guy starts if he can't give you 10 points. You need at least 10 points. You need at least double figures from your starters. And when you're not getting that, it's not a good reason to play them. Anyway, their bench gave him 17 as opposed to 35 points from the Hawks, which is also a killer. So the Hawks overcompensated. The starting 5 scored in double figures, and their bench gave you twice as many points as Washington's bench. And thereby, that's the win. We're not even going to go into shooting percentages because it really doesn't matter. What we're going to go into is that you have to contribute, and there were a couple of people on the Washington Wizards team that did not contribute, and therefore they lost the game, 122 to 120.
Now we have our big game, the Portland Trail
Blazers. Game of the day.
Who what are they, 31 and 35? And they played the Celtics, who are 46 and 21.
It did not bode well for them.
The Portland Trail Blazers, they trailed throughout that game. However,
they should.
I was very disappointed in that bench for the Celtics. They came out there trying to stream with all them 3-pointers instead of playing ball. Go to the hole. If they're not hitting, they just not hitting. Stop letting these teams come back. You were up double figures. Why are you giving this team a chance to come back? I have no idea. That's their downfall.
It's the coaching. I mean, as a player, you are, unless you're Michael Jordan or you're LeBron James, you're doing what your coaching tells you to do.
They telling them jack up threes?
They're telling them to jack up threes.
I think they're just telling them not. They're not telling them not to. I think that's the problem. I don't think he's telling them.
They're telling them to jack up threes. Man, they think they're emulating the
starting five
Warriors. Yeah,
oh
Steph Curry and the Warriors. They think they're emulating them. We'll see how well this works this season.
Yeah, okay. All right. Well, the Blazers started out with Jeremy Grant. Jeremy Grant played 33 minutes for 13 points. Mr. Radish. What's Radish first name? I'm going to have to update.
Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish.
He came from New York. It was the trade that sent him to Portland right at the deadline.
Cam Reddish, 35 minutes for 10 points. Mr. Joseph Nurkic.
That would be him.
17 minutes for 5 points. To Mr. Damian Lillard, 30 minutes for 27 points. Then Mr. Thibault.
Yeah, Matisse Thibault came as a defensive guy.
20 minutes for 2 points.
For 2 points.
Off the bench, we had Mr. Trendon Watford. Gave him 25 minutes for 12 points. And Mr. Sharp. Mr. Shaden Sharp. Gave him 25 minutes for 12 points. Everybody else was single digits. Total over 93 points. Not enough to win.
Not enough
to win.
And it wasn't even that close most of the game.
No. Only time they had a chance is when they put that bench in and the bench started playing foolishly. Terribly foolishly. Didn't make no kind of sense what they were doing out there. They even went down and brought the young kid out too.
Yeah, they did.
He played a few minutes. What was his JD Davidson? The man with the wild hair.
Yeah, orange hair.
Whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever.
All right, we got Mr. Jason Tatum, gave him 31 minutes for 30 points. Al Horford gave him 24 minutes for 17 points. Marcus Smart, 22 minutes for 10 points. Derek White, 36 minutes for 21 points. And Jaylen Brown, 25 minutes for 11 points. Everybody gave him double digits from the starters, which gave them rest time. Then he brought out their second string. Mr. Blake Griffin, 18 minutes for 0 points.
0.
Like, come on, man. Grant Williams, 12 minutes for 8 points. Mr. Sam Hauser, 32 minutes for 11 points. And everybody else didn't do too much because they was up there jacking all them threes, man. But JD looked like he's gonna be a little something, man, when you start getting a little bit of time.
Well, he needs to get some time because Marcus Smart can't shoot.
He's a rainy day shooter. He only shoot on rainy days.
Yeah, a lot of times when he's shooting, it's raining. It becomes a rainy day because it keeps cooling off. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, you're gonna need. They got some problems there. Okay, Marcus Smart is a problem, and Robert Williams, the third, missing, is a problem. Al Horford, 38 years old, playing center, is a problem.
And if they don't direct their shooting abilities in the second half, they're gonna have problems down the line.
That becomes an issue. When you have those other issues that are already there, those things are physical issues.
Yeah.
Now, when you have these other issues where you got you're shooting, you ain't hitting that three.
What do you do when you're not hitting the three? You know what I'm saying? You don't keep on shooting them. You do something else.
The only guys that can take the ball to the hoop, even though they're giving them a whole lot of space, and really it's Malcolm Brogdon. Oh yeah. He goes to the hoop. Tatum and Brown.
Yeah.
Everyone else, they go to the hoop, they're going to get erased.
Grant's not bad. Grant's not bad when he's paying attention. But yesterday he wanted to be the 3-point shooter.
Grant Williams, as my son tells me, is a liability.
You think so?
I've come to see this. He's a liability. He can only shoot that spot up three. He doesn't have any physicality to take the ball to the hoop. He's not big enough to stop the big guys from going to the hoop. He's not fast enough to keep the fast guys from going to the hoop. They've stuck him in there because he shows tenacity. He shows grit.
Yeah, he got
but as far as him being able to make a difference, he doesn't have that. He doesn't have that quality.
Yeah.
Let's move on to the Cleveland Cavaliers. And my Cleveland, they smacked around the Celtics too, right? They beat them in overtime.
Yeah.
Over the weekend. It was slap around the Celtics weekend. The Nets, the Knicks in Cleveland. So Cleveland went into Miami. Miami, they just ain't looking too hot this year. Thank God.
Unless they're playing the Celtics.
But
unless they're playing the Celtics. Then they look like stars.
Yeah, then all of a sudden they become big time stars then. But yeah, Cleveland went into Miami and beat them 104 to 100. 104 to 100. Actually outplaying them. They outplayed Miami. Miami didn't have an answer for them. Starting with Evan Mobley. And I think Evan Mobley coming back, he was out injured for about 2 months, but Evan Mobley coming back has provided a spark for the Cleveland Cavaliers. He played 32 minutes, only had 15 points, but he's a 7-foot forward, much like Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, the guy is tall, rangy. He has better handle than Kristaps. He can. He's a problem. And he only shot the ball 9 times. He was 5 for 9, 15 points. Isaac Okoro, he's a guy coming out. Now he's starting to get it. I couldn't figure out why Cleveland was playing him. I didn't see anything, but he's starting to score. Played 29 minutes, 13 points. Gerard Allen, 33 minutes, 15 points. Darius Garland, 39 minutes, 25 points. And Donovan Mitchell, he played 34 minutes for 18 points. Donovan Mitchell shot horrible. 7 for 18. But, at least he didn't shoot it any more than 18 times. 1 for 7 from three-point line. But the Heat weren't showing anything. Tyler Hero had, we're going to those points. They had 18 points from the bench. But the Heat don't have a spark. They don't have anybody giving them a spark this year. They ran their starters into the ground. Where's Kyle Lowry? Where is he? I didn't hear that he had a major injury.
I think he's tired.
But he's been gone for like 2.5 months.
He's tired.
He's old. That being said, they brought in Kevin Love, another old guy. I don't know what they thought they were going to get out of Kevin Love.
8 points.
And I know how Pat Riley hates to spend money. So they brought in the cheap option with Kevin Love. And Kevin Love played 21 minutes and gave him 8 points. Not going to happen. Jimmy Butler, he had to play 35 minutes, 8 for 14, 28 points. Bam Adebayo played 29 minutes, was 8 for 11. Great shooting percentage right there. Should have shot the ball 20 times at the rate that was going. He gave him 17 points. Gabe Vincent played only 18 minutes, 0 for 1, with 0 points. There's a problem right there, but he got hurt. And Tyler Hero, he showed up, but he was 7 for 15 for 22 points. They got 25 points from the bench, and that, my friends, is not going to get it done. And the brain trust of the Heat, when they blow one, and they're blowing it this year by not going out and signing some of the players they need to sign, trying to get by on, minimal contracts with Matt Strus and Victor Oladipo. Okay, they need to give Victor Oladipo some time. Either he can play, either he can't play. Because if he can't play, they need to do something with him instead of holding him back. He needs to go to another team. Because there are plenty of teams that would take Victor Oladipo in a second, because Victor Oladipo can still get the job done. But you got him sitting behind these other guys. You got to stop the dude. You got to see what he got.
Yeah, they got to figure it out. Figure it out soon.
Hopefully they don't. If they're having a brain fart, I want them to continue to have one because I can't
they're throwing it outside, bro. They're throwing it outside.
Or Matt Spoelstra always looks like he's on LSD. Acid, some sort of wide-eyed acid.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're moving on. We got the Mavericks and the Pelicans. If you bet on the Mavericks and Kyrie, you lose.
You
Mavericks
lost, baby.
106, Pelicans 113 without Zion. Without Zion. However,
Without Zion.
them Orleans Pelicans are playing right now. They are putting some work in. I don't think, yeah,
Take a look
last
at
night
that.
was a really good game. Let's see. We're starting out with Dallas. Mr. Tim Hardaway. Tim Hardaway, 40 minutes for 17 points. Mr. Powell, Dwight Powell, he gave him 18 minutes for 12 points. Mr. Kyrie Irving gave him 41 minutes for 27 points. Mr. Luka Doncic, 28 minutes for 15 points.
Where you at, Luca? Where you at?
Mr. Josh Green, 24 minutes for 3 points. I don't know if Kyrie and Luka's jiving right.
It doesn't appear to be.
Because
No.
Luka runs, he plays a slow pace game, and Kyrie
Right.
plays a fast paced game. And last night, Kyrie was the last quarter, he was lighting it up. And he was trying his best to try to get him over the hump. But Luka couldn't keep up with that for some reason. I don't understand it.
He's a slow guy.
I think, sometimes you got to process. Some people got to process what they're doing or what plays coming up next versus the one that can kind of play on the fly. And Kyrie's that guy can play on the fly. He's going to just make it happen. Luka got to think about it as he's coming down the hole and try to set it up, and it's not.
He's trying to set it up.
It's not working.
And it's not working.
So you guys
not working.
I don't know what you're going to do, but you got to figure it out because, Luka's not even scoring like he was before. He's like 15. What was his average?
32 points a game.
Yeah, so he's 15 points this game.
No, he ain't getting it done. He can't get it. He can't get it done with Kyrie there because Kyrie demands the ball also, which is the problem we talked about in the beginning of the season.
But I don't know if Kyrie so much demands the ball, but he moves the ball so quickly. You gotta be up there with him. If you back there locking, you ain't gonna touch the ball.
Yeah. Kyrie can get the ball up quick.
He's gonna get up the court.
The problem is Luka. Really, the problem is Luka. All right. Everyone can dance around it. Let's not dance around it. All right. The problem is Luka. Luka can't play off somebody. He can't play with somebody. He's got to dominate the ball all the time.
No, that's terrible.
And which is what killed this team because everyone else is just standing around
waiting for
until he makes it right. Until he makes a decision. So nobody's actually getting the ball and getting the chance to do anything with it on their own. They have to wait for Luka to make all of his moves and head fakes, and then finally passing the ball. And then they got like 3 or 4 or 5 seconds to get that ball off, put the ball on the ground, try to get a dribble in, try to get the rhythm and shoot the ball, which is impossible. He was killing this team. He's killing this team now.
Because all they needed was another 7 points to at least go into overtime. Now, if you gave him another 7 points, you'd win in overtime. We'd figure it out. But every time they got close, they couldn't get. They was always like 4 points or so behind.
So Jason Kidd has a problem.
Yeah.
And he's got to get Luka to play off the ball and be a secondary person. We're not going at your pace anymore. We can't do that. I'll tell you what, we're going to give you some minutes. What we're going to do is we're going to make it more of a fast-paced game, and I'm going to give you extra minutes on the bench to rest up. But we can't keep going at your pace because it's stagnating the team. Yeah. That's the problem. Not only is it losing games, you're losing games because you're stagnating the team, which you did before Kyrie.
Yeah.
This is a pre-Kyrie problem. And in the last 10 games with Kyrie, they are 3-7.
Well, they got Kyrie to pick up the pace, but they're not picking it up with him. They're not picking it up. And you got to get it together before Kyrie start going to the left. Because his mental, his tendency to hold on to, stay focused is rough.
Right.
You got to get going before he loses focus, man.
Well, I don't know what they can do. Because I don't know if Jason Kidd has the gravitas to reel Luka Doncic in.
Time will tell. Let me finish up. So New Orleans, Mr. Brandon Ingram gave him 18 minutes for 12 points. Mr. Herbert Jones, 37 minutes for 14 points.
About time.
Mr. Valanciunas, Jonas Valanciunas, 7
I knew you were
minutes,
going to get there.
0 points. Mr.
Valanciunas.
CJ McCollum gave him 35 minutes for 32 points.
Christian pulled it out.
And then Mr. Trey Murphy III gave him 38 minutes for 16 points. Let's see,
Yep.
off the bench, Mr. Richardson gave him 6 points. Hayes gave him 14 points. Jackson Hayes. He gave him 14 points.
Jackson. Jackson.
Yeah.
Now that's a cool name.
Yeah. So it just was enough to get past the Mavericks. But the Mavericks, we're at the end of the season. Y'all got to figure it out, man. Y'all got to figure it out.
Especially because the Suns were talking crap to you.
Old
Chris Paul and Devin Booker and with old Kevin Durant. All right, they was talking smack to you. All right, what you got? You ain't got nothing. Just say, Luka, you ain't got nothing no more. Luka got all that. I don't know why they threw Devin Booker out, because Luka started that whole thing. After Devin Booker pointed down the ground and said that should have been a foul.
Yeah,
they should have threw Luka out and left Devin Booker in there.
Oh man, you imagine those two?
Well,
Devin Booker and Kyrie.
Wow. Two games ago, which was the game before this, they lost. They lost to the Suns. Devin Booker, Kevin Durant, Chris Paul put it to him.
Kevin's hurt right now, but
he been out hurt last game. Yesterday. But so Devin. Luka didn't like it, but they should have threw him out. He should be fine. He's the guy who instigated. Devin Booker was just talking to the rest, talking about that should have been a foul. How you let him just knock this guy over and you didn't foul him? And Luka jumped all in his face, pushing him.
Oh my God!
Me?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Well, what's wrong with you? You can't do that, man. Who do you think you are? See, he's been babied. This guy's been babied. He's an obvious talent, but he's been babied. For him to get away with, think he can just get away with something like that.
Showing his weakness right now. So you better get it together.
He got some of that LeBron James mentality. He's entitled. He's entitled now. Anyway, picking it up. We have the Chicago Bulls traveling to Denver, Colorado, to take on the Denver Nuggets. And if you took the Denver Nuggets, which was the home team, this is becoming the theme here. If you took the home team, you lost. Because Chicago, with Patrick Beverly, scoring the whole 3 points, put it to him. 117 to 96. 117 to 96. They beat him by 20. They beat him by 21 points in Denver. Well, let's just get to the specifics of it. We had DeMar DeRozan. DeMar DeRozan played 38 minutes, was only 6 for 16, 17 points. Well, then you had Nikola Vucevic. He played 35 minutes. His shooting average wasn't that great either. 9 for 17, 25 points. Patrick Beverly, the aforementioned Patrick Beverly, played 24 minutes. He was 1 for 4.
Oh, my God.
For 3 points. And Alex Caruso, he played 18 minutes. He was 3 for 8 for 6 points. And Zach LaVine was 12 for 18. Zach LaVine's going to make a liar out of me. I used to call him a volume shooter. But that is a really good stat right there. 12 for 18 for 29 points. So, but if we look at it, we got 3 points from one guy, 6 points from another guy. How did the Bulls win with that MVP caliber person that they say they got on the other side? Jokic. Yeah, they call it Jokic. Well, let's find out how they won. Aaron Gordon played pretty good, 29 minutes, 17 points. Michael Porter Jr., 24 minutes, 12 points. Nikola Jokic, 35 minutes, 18 points. Jamal Murray, 35 minutes for 11 points. And Mr. Kentavious Pope-Caldwell. Yep. He played 31 minutes and only gave him 5. There was your weakest link. Mr. Kentavious Caldwell playing 31 minutes and giving you 5 points.
Way too many minutes for that little bit of points.
5
points. Could have played 5 minutes for 5 points, bro.
You could have bumped into somebody and got fouled. Just hit the ground and let them trip over you. They would have called a foul for you. Anything. Jesus. Scratch, clawed, bitten, vomited. They would have gave you something, and you did nothing. Well, listen, Contavious, I love your name. Love all that about you. You came out the same year as our man there in Milwaukee, Giannis. Matter of fact, he was picked before Giannis. So there was 36 points from the bench, but it was not. Well, they got 36 points from the bench. Patrick Williams gave him 18. This guy's coming on, and nobody else gave him double figures for Chicago. So how did? Well, I think they lost because Contavious Pope only gave him 5. They got 10 points from Trey Bryant, and that's about it off the bench. 33 points from the bench, but nobody. They played 1, 2, 3, 4, 7 players, and only one player gave him a double-digit number there. So after that, they just pretty much just died. That was it. And we're going to get into the standings here, but the Nuggets, they're pretty safe. They could lose a couple more games. It doesn't look like anybody's going to make a move on them in the West. Nobody is doing anything exciting.
All right, let's get into OKC. OKC went down to Phoenix and got spanked.
Spanked. They should have stayed home.
Spanked.
They didn't have to leave. They didn't have to leave OKC for this to happen.
And all of their starters were in single digits except for one. Let's look through.
Let me just look at ooh. Well, what I do notice there is that Shai Gilgeous-Alexander did not play.
Okay. Well, I don't think it would have mattered.
I don't think it would have mattered. 31 points.
So Jalen Williams, he gave him 18 minutes for 2 points. Mr. Isaiah Joe, 19 minutes for 6 points. Mr. Aaron Wiggins, 18 minutes for 6 points.
What did Mr. Josh Giddey do?
Josh Giddey, 23 minutes for 10 points.
10 points.
Mr. Lugins.
I call him Lugents. Lugents
Dort gave him 20 minutes for 7 points. Off the bench, let's see. Mr. Waters, Mr. Lindy Waters.
Is it Linden?
Linden
Who is
Waters.
this guy?
I don't know. Lindy Waters, L-I-N-D-Y. Lindy Waters the third.
Lindy Waters the third.
30 minutes for 23 points. He should have been starting. And let's see, one other guy, Mr. Mann. Gave him 28 minutes for 14 points. Who's that guy?
That Trey man. Is it the Tyrese man? We'll have to look that up. There's also another guy that gave him 12. Dieng. Now these are new guys because we've covered this team all year, and these are new names. Yeah. These guys have not been getting off the bench.
They're getting off now.
Making an impact so that we'd have to notice them. But here they are. They're making it. And OKC shot terrible. 37%. They were 33 for 88. 33 for 88. That's not going to get it done.
Nah.
But tell us what Phoenix did.
Let's see what Phoenix did. Mr. Torrey Craig, 22 minutes, 3 points. Lord.
Wow.
So I don't know. Josh Okogie, 21 minutes, 5 points. Mr. DeAndre Ayton, 24 minutes, 12 points. Chris Paul, 24 minutes, 18 points. Woo. Devin Booker, the man. 28 minutes for 44 points. He did
17 for 23. He only missed 5 shots the whole game.
He was killing it.
17 for 23.
6 of 10 3-point shooting. He missed 1 foul shot. He was pretty on point until he got a little bit of foul trouble in the third quarter. So but he still played his game.
He was a plus 33. He was putting it to him, lighting him up.
Oh, man. Who's this Mr. Ross? Mr. Ross gave him 23 minutes for 24 points.
Terrence Ross.
Yeah.
Came out, He's with Orlando for a long while, and he just got traded to the Suns, a championship team. So maybe Terrence Ross can do something. Did he give him 24?
23.
Was it 20? Okay.
Ross.
No, he did. He played 23 minutes.
He gave him 24 points. 23, 24. Right.
Yeah, Terrence can still jack that ball up. Terrence Ross always been a dead-eye shooter. Let me see. What did he do from 3-point? 6 for 10. That'll do it. He can get that ball up. Good to see him go to a good team. Phoenix.
Yeah.
Phoenix has a chance. Yeah, Durant comes back from his ankle injury.
That was kind of a freak accident, man. You see, he was doing warm-ups and hit a doggone wet spot and went down. He almost twisted it. He ain't got no legs as it is. He got toothpicks for legs, man. That would have snapped, man. That's terrible.
Yeah, it looks like he could snap.
Oh my God. Jesus. The last
if he was an NFL player, he'd be suing the arena right now.
Yeah, he might. Still might.
Saying, the turf was bad and I hurt my leg and that's how that. But you know what? He might, because that should not have happened.
That should not have happened.
And the last game of the day, the Toronto Raptors didn't have far to go. Actually, they did. They went to L.A. L.A., the land of Disneyland, of Hollywood, and the L.A. Clippers. So the Raptors took on the L.A. Clippers, and they lost 100-108. They got clipped. They got clipped in L.A.
The Clippers fell down.
What happened to Pascal Siakam this year? He was a guy who was making a name for himself, 25 to 30 point game scorer, and he started off this year with a abdominal injury, and he has not been the same, and probably should not be playing, from what I can tell. Okay, he played 41 minutes, starting with the Toronto Raptors. Pascal Siakam, 21 minutes, 9 for 21, for 20 points. OG Ginobili, this guy is a lot like, D'Angelo Russell. Sometimes he shows up and sometimes he doesn't. Now, if you can score 18 points, that means you can score 18 points in every game. I mean, the Clippers aren't a bad defensive team. They make you do some work there. So he scores 18 points. He's 7 for 11 for 18 points. But then he'll play another game and he won't even get double digits. Scotty Barnes, 6 for 21. This will hurt you.
Scotty.
6 for 21, 37 minutes, 20 points. Jacob Poeltl. One of these days, we're going to find out how to pronounce this guy's name. We're just going to keep mangling it until someone tells us differently. 30 minutes. 30 minutes. 4 for 8 points. That was a big pickup they made from San Antonio and that Hall of Fame coach that they have down there. What's his name again?
Nick Nurse.
No, the Hall of Fame coach that they got down there in San Antonio.
Clippers, San Antonio, I don't know what his name is.
Yeah, Popovich.
Come on, I don't know his name.
Hall of Fame coach Popovich. You got the worst record in the league.
I'm with you, Pop. I'm with you,
Pop.
Yeah,
just like Bill Belichick, Pop.
He put his
you
time
ain't got the player, you ain't got no team. You ain't no Hall of Fame coach. You only as good as your best player, and you ain't got a best player, and you look like a Pop Warner.
Pop, go ahead and roll out, man. Go ahead and roll out.
I'm just saying, just getting it straight. People wonder why the Patriots keep losing. You want to know why the Patriots keep losing? Because they shipped out the best players, and they're always playing cheap.
Because Bill
they deserve to lose, and they're going to lose. Excuse me. Where was I?
Basketball.
Fred VanVleet was 3 for 12 before getting thrown out the game for 13 points. Then we have Christian Boucher. Yes, right. Chris Boucher, he scored 14 points off the bench. The bench gave him 21 points in the loss to the Raptors. You know who I forgot to mention for the Atlanta Hawks? Bogdanovich again. Because he won. But anyway, we'll get past that. The LA Clippers. There was a Kawhi Leonard showing yesterday. And that made along with a Paul George showing. So between those two guys, Paul George played 39 minutes for 23 points. Kawhi Leonard played 40 minutes for 24 minutes. They better cut this guy's minutes down. These old guys can't handle that. Marcus Morris, another old guy, 23 minutes for 4 points. Marcus is the weakest link. Oh, they got another one coming.
Ooh, not the West.
Yep.
Zubac.
Mr. Zubac, he played 27 minutes and had 17 points. And Russell Westbrook, who is now a starter again, played 23 minutes, 3 for 6 for 7 points. Between Marcus Morris and Russell Westbrook, you got a whole 11 points. How did they win this game? They won this game because they were playing the Raptors, they are more dysfunctional than the Clippers apparently right now. Off the bench, what do you got? You got 14 points from Mr. Man, and that's it in double figures. I think we had 33 points off the bench. Did the bench show for them? And that was it for the LA Clippers. But they managed to win. They won at home, 108-100. Which brings us to another point, the Western Conference and the standings. Now, Denver is still at the top. Denver, to their credit, are 8-2 in the last 10 games. But they haven't had teams like the Knicks or the Bucks over in the West that have gone 14, 10, 11, 12 straight games of winning like they have over in the East. So then you have Denver, they're maintaining the lead. 8-10, they're at the top. They lead Sacramento. Now, who would have thought Sacramento would be in second place? They lead Sacramento by 7 games.
And it's like no one even near them. They can lose the rest of the season and still get in the playoffs.
Point.
Wow.
They really don't have to do anything anymore because the Golden State Warriors are 12 games off the pace. They're not going to. Nope. Phoenix Suns are 9. The team that they might have to wear with Phoenix Suns is 9. So
Phoenix is coming
they
from.
really don't have
Phoenix
too much
is
to
coming
worry
from.
about.
No. Phoenix coming from. Phoenix will be in second place in about another 2 weeks.
How many? I only think this might be 3 weeks to go in the season.
Well, they're gonna end up in the top 3.
Okay, we're gonna see about that.
Yeah, they're on the top.
Better hope Kevin Durant is, Mr. Thin Man, his ankle is okay, because everything depends on Kevin Durant.
Well, they got enough to do their thing, but Kevin Durant will push him over the top.
Yeah, if they got Kevin Durant, they're going pretty far. Anyway, look at this home record for Denver. They are 30-5 at home.
Wow. We lost 5 games.
But here we go again. Here's what I don't trust Denver. I mean, none of these guys could come to the East and take on any of the top teams in the East. Look at this. They're away. They're only 16-15 away. Wow. They're barely above 500.
Wow.
They're going to have trouble. Anyway, and that's not because the West is so darn good either. No. Sacramento Kings. Who would have thought the Kings would be in second place? But there they are. The Memphis Grizzlies, who are going down fast because Ja Morant is about to become a footnote in the history of basketball at the rate he's going. It's the truth, everybody. All right. There was warning signs all over the place. We all tried to ignore it because you know what? We really liked Ja Morant's play. He's energetic. He's excited. He's everything that you would want, watching this guy play. But here's a guy who's on film voluntarily with a gun in his hand in a nightclub.
Listen.
And, we usually don't talk about off-the-court stuff. But I think this is important because we have a situation here in America, in Black America, okay, in which everyone wants to be known as a shooter now. These want to be known as drug dealers, the drug man. Now they want to be known as shooters. And it's crippling our neighborhoods and our communities. And I wouldn't be unhappy if they suspended Ja Morant for the rest of the darn year. Okay, and out the playoffs. Because this type of thing can't be ignored any longer. No matter how much we like Ja Morant, it can't be ignored. He has to go into some sort of rehab, some sort of situation where he's away from the people that are around him. He needs to get away from these people entirely because he's in a dangerous situation. When you show a lot of money, you better believe people are going to come for that money. And when you show yourself walking around with a gun, you better believe people are going to challenge you. Something needs to be changed about the situation with Ja Morant. Forget about the Memphis Grizzlies. As far as a team goes, what's going to happen to him, it doesn't matter. What matters right now is that something happens with Ja Morant that gets him on the right track for the rest of his life.
So the question is do the team care more about winning versus caring more about their individual players? Now, your play on court has to match your play off court. Now, if your play off court is a mess and you're bringing an entourage of folk that's causing issues, wrong answer. You can't bring the neighborhood. You can't bring the neighborhood with you. You can't do it. And oftentimes cats want to get on your bandwagon, but they cause more disruption than positive. That ain't no good. That's one thing you can look at LeBron James for. Everybody around him, he put through school. They all had to go to college. Okay.
Yep.
His business side is extremely well.
Well,
You know, and when that's well, then you're good. You can't bring riffraff with you when you're making it through life, because them same people will bring you down because they care nothing about you. All they want to be live in the moment. They're just living in the moment. Come on, Ja. You got to think better than that, man. You should voluntarily quit for the rest of the year.
his family should tell him they want to. This family should get in touch, should confer with the team, and tell the team, we want you to send him out the rest of the year. If we got to send him to some place in Switzerland for 2 or 3 months where he's quarantined from everybody who's around him, that's what we want, because that's more important. And it will also show the youth, the Black youth of America, mind your P's and Q's. Do what it takes in order to get out. You spend your whole time honing the skill. And I don't care what the skill is. You could be an architect. You could be a bridge builder. You can be a computer designer, whatever it is. But you spend your skill trying to get out of an impoverished situation, not to stay in it. And we have to want more. And I do. I want more. And I want the kids in America, the young Black kids in America, as well as the young white kids in America. But I'm not sure too many people were saying, hey, listen, the Italians back in the 20s, I want you to grow up to be Alphonse Capone. Even though he was making millions of dollars as a gangster. I'm sure parents were saying, I want you to grow. This is what we're trying to say, John. We like you. But no, we don't want any of the kids growing up to be like you. Because if they don't have your talent, they probably won't make it to your age. He's only 23. So what we're talking about is that if most of these kids, if they're imitating Ja, most of them won't make it to age 23, walking around with guns, because somebody is going to challenge you. And we'll leave that alone. That's all I got to say on the matter. I think that's all Mr. James has to say on the matter, but we hope it gets across. The Phoenix Suns are in 4th place, and they're not tearing up anything either. They're 7-3 in the last 10 games. Golden State Warriors, 6-4. When it looked like they were going to turn the corner, Draymond Green says, screw you guys. You didn't pass me the ball. I'm taking the playoff.
I'm going to walk up court.
I'm just going to walk off the court. Golden State, and you know what? You deserve it. I hate to tell you, Golden State, you deserve it. Because I said last year you should got rid of this guy, because whatever he gave you in the playoffs, he's going to start taking away from you because his attitude. Hi, Ja. I don't even know why anybody, because Ja, Draymond Green, bad attitude. Actually, Ja doesn't even have a bad attitude on the court. It's Draymond Green has a bad attitude on the court. His behavior also cannot be emulated outside the court. And we know this. This right. As Black Americans, we know this. You go act like Draymond Green outside somewhere, you see what happens to you. So we don't need him to be a role model for anybody. I don't even know why he's got a podcast spewing the nonsense that he spews. You walk out here behaving like Draymond Green, it's going to be a short existence, because they don't tolerate that type of crap. So, Draymond, we don't need you behaving the way you do. And apparently your team is not going to need you if you keep going this way.
Yeah, I think they're starting to see it now. They haven't seen it before.
LA Clippers. Well, Russell Westbrook experiment continues. They're in 6th place. The Minnesota Timberwolves. Karl Anthony Towns, where are you? Missing in action. And I'll just stop it there because I'm taking up from where Mr. James actually picks up. Let me just exit stage left over here. That's you, Mr. James. You pick it up with the Minnesota, with the LA Clippers.
Minnesota Timberwolves, 34-33. They're still at the 500, barely. 12 and a half games behind. They won 5 of their last 10. They got a losing streak of 1. Dallas Mavericks. This is the team that I'm really, really watching closely. If they can't get that mixture right, they're really, really, because they have a potential. I really like them. I think
Oh yeah, potential.
they can be a very good team. But that little, stunt last night, that you got to keep up with that fast break, bro. Because them boys, they can work, but you got to work with them, Mister. What's his name? No,
Kyrie,
no, not Kyrie.
Luca,
Luca. Come on, Luca. You got to keep up,
Luca,
Luca.
Luca, Luca, Luca can't play with anybody else.
Come on, he can do better. He can do better.
He's been baby his whole career. He's been the man, and now that if he has to share the ball, we're seeing disastrous results.
I don't know. In ninth place, we got.
A lot of people like to compare him to Larry Bird. I got news for you.
No.
Larry Bird ran that ball up the court.
Yeah.
Larry Bird was one of the best passers. Sorry, Luca, you ain't a very good passer. If you even pass the ball, most times you don't even. You wait until you do the Kobe. You wait until you're trapped by 3 people before you want to pass.
Yeah, Larry was a passer and a shooter. So
first.
Even on the fast break, if the ball is not in your hand, you go to where your spot is. The ball get to your jacket. Now you're on point. So you can't always wait and be the person bringing the ball up to try to set it up every time you come down the court. That's not what you guys are made of anymore. You now got a spark that you can use to the best ability to the team and make some good stuff happen. You better
do it now. While Kyrie's head is in the game.
Yeah. Don't let him. I'm telling you, don't let him get out the sandbox.
Don't let him. He get upset, man.
Yeah, don't put too much time on his hands, man.
Yeah. You got him now. You better use it.
You better. Come on, man. Come on, Luca. All right, 6th place, we got LA Clippers, 35-33. Let's see. They won 4 of their last 10. They got a winning streak of 2. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves, number 7 at 34-33. They're still at that 500 mark, 12.5 games in the rear. We losing streak of 1. They won 5 of the last 10. Dallas Maverick, 34-33, 500 team, losing streak 1. 3 of the last 10. Clay's favorite team in place of 9, Los Angeles Lakers, 32-34. They still under 500, 14 games in the real mirror. They're on a winning streak of 2. They won 7 of the last 10.
Woo.
Now let you finish it up.
All right. I'm going to chime in with the Oklahoma City Thunder, which Shai Gilgeous Alexander is missing, and they don't stand a chance. They are in the number 11 spot, 31-35. That means they've won 31, they've lost 35. I don't know why we're talking about this, but just we have to report the standings.
There's a lot of 31s.
Yeah, there's 3 of them. And the next one's the Portland Trailblazers. Yes, the Portland Trailblazers, they are 31-35 also. That's right. 15 games out of first place, just like the Oklahoma City Thunder. And guess what? The same identical win-loss record in the last 10 games, 4-6. So they've lost 4. They've won 4 of the last 6, just like Oklahoma City Thunder won 4 of the last 6. And guess what? The Utah Jazz, who once were in first place. That's right. So Danny Ainge started messing around, and that took care of that. They are 31-35 also. And they are 4-6 in their last 10 games. Then we have, I misquoted Mr. Popovich wrong. I said he had the worst team in the West, and he doesn't, because he's actually only in 14th place. There's one team worse than him by 1 game. We'll get to that. The San Antonio Spurs have won 16 games out of 65.
Do they get paid every week?
They sure do.
They're doing good then.
And all the coaches they got with them. All right. They have a winning percentage of it's below 250. It's at 246. They are 29.5 games out of first place. He still gets a check.
Ooh.
And they are 2-8 in the last 10 games. And then you have the Houston Rockets, coached by Paul Silas' son. Now, Paul, they really can't say too much bad about you when the supposedly Hall of Fame coach is right there next to you. What's his name? James Silas? I think his name is James Silas. So it's not Paul. Yeah, the Houston Rockets are 15-50. So they have played 65 games and they've won 15 of them. They have 30 games out of first place, and there's not much else to say about that. Other than I don't think if your last name was Silas, you still have a job.
There's going to be a lot of movement this offseason. A lot of movement.
Yeah. Steven Silas, that's his name. I don't think that they're going to get rid of Popovich. It's like, Popovich.
He's going to retire, man. You ain't got to get rid of him. They just
what's he waiting for?
Retire. He got to wait till the end of the season.
I would not wait. I'd get out right now. Let the guy who. What am I going to wait about for the rest of the year?
Hey,
look, I've already.
Because he's going to make a comeback. He's going to win 30 games. The next 30 games is going to win. Oh, it's not 30
ain't
left.
30 games left. 65 games. That means there's 17 games left, and you can forget about it. You're 29 games out of first place. That ain't happening. It's all done. I can do math. That ain't algebra. That's just plain old simple math. You're 29 games out with 17 games to go. You might as well just retire now if you're going to retire. If you're not going to retire now, then I guess you're hanging around for a whole nother year. That's the way I see it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting playoff run right now because some teams are acting like, I don't know. They got to fix their shortcomings. They got to fix them.
Celtics got to get their thing together, or else Milwaukee is just going to stomp through the East.
Yeah, they got to work. They got to work on their second half game, man. They can't come out there and want to do their thing first half. Second half, they want to lean back and keep with these useless 3-pointers that aren't hitting. We just stop already. We already got the Warriors out there. Let the Warriors do that.
Yeah, let the Warriors let them do their thing.
Mm-hmm.
But who do they have? Robert Williams isn't there. I mean, look at Luke Cornett is a serviceable player, but he's a backup. Yeah. He's a backup. That being said, Luke Cornett being a backup, who else you got in there? Robert Williams is injured. So you're really relying on Al Horford. And then who are you going to bring in? You're going to bring in Mike Muscala? You don't have inside presence in any type of fashion or form.
Williams is out for the next 7 to 10 days with a strained left hamstring. Wow. I don't know, man.
They have nobody. The reason why Milwaukee can get by with Brook Lopez is because Antetokounmpo becomes your low post presence.
Mm-hmm.
They give him the ball. He takes the ball to the hoop. So you still have to have a low post presence somehow. I mean, Golden State kind of changed it all around because they were letting their guys, because they spaced it out, drive to the hoop. So Steph Curry, Jordan Poole, Kuminga, all of them get to drive to the hoop. But if you don't have that, you need a local. Now, who's fast enough? You can't say Marcus Smart or Malcolm Brogdon is going to match it with Klay Thompson and Steph Curry as far as or Kuminga or Jordan Poole. So you're at a loss there. So you need a big who's going to be a low post presence.
Yeah. Well, they can't fix it now. It's too late in the season. They have to do what they have. Hopefully Williams get back.
Joel Embiid.
Oh, yeah. But he ain't coming this year. Hopefully. Well, I mean, Philly's not doing too bad right now. So he feels like he's in a good place. They're in number 3.
Yeah. Listen, you know about James Playoff Harden? That's right. We talking about that's right, James. See, we don't have no sacred cows. Say this is what I like, because we already know James played very good in the regular season, but in the playoffs, he's gonna start choking up.
Come on, Harden. You gonna let him talk about you like that?
In the playoffs, James starts feeling a little bit tight.
Come on.
He starts falling down more. You notice that, right?
Oh man, he don't have to no more.
Yeah, but he's going to. He's going to fall down more, and he's going to look to try to draw the foul because he doesn't have that playoff DNA. Great regular season guy, and you saw that last year because we were talking about it last year during the playoffs. You were like, "Come on!" I was like, "He ain't going to do it, man. He's never going to get over that hump. He can't. He don't have that playoff DNA."
Man, I don't know.
Wait a minute. Did he do it last year?
No, he was terrible last year.
Did he do it the year before? No. No, he didn't do it when he was with the Rockets. He didn't do it when he was with OKC. He's always a very good regular season guy.
Mhm.
Let the playoffs come around, man.
Well, maybe that's his limit. Get to the
Yeah,
playoffs.
it is.
As long as he gets to the playoffs, he's good. Get a bigger check when you make it to the playoffs, right?
I guess that's one way of rationalizing it. But I don't see any win. In other words, I don't see any win for you, Joel Embiid.
Come
I don't
on
care
over.
how good
Come
you
on
look
over.
in the regular season. I don't see nothing happening with you and the 76ers because James Harden and Ben Gordon or Ben Simmons. Yeah, Ben Gordon. We shouldn't even mention Ben Simmons in the same
He's out injured
sentence
anyway.
as Ben Gordon.
He's out. Ben's out injured.
Ben ain't injured, but Ben disappeared. He also disappeared. So James Harden, Ben Simmons, it was an even up deal because they will both disappear on you when the times when you need them to play.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry to say that, but sorry, Joel, come to Boston.
That'll be perfect move, bro. Perfect move. We'll give up a whole lot of people for you, buddy.
Hey, listen, we'll ship everybody out of here except for Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown and Sam Hauser. We got to keep Sam Hauser.
Yeah, keep Broderick too.
And Brogdon, Malcolm Brogdon too.
Yeah.
All right. You can have all the draft picks for the next 5 years. Next number one draft for the next 5 years, Philadelphia, and anybody else you want on that team. Come on, get it done. I'll even give you some. You can have the second round picks too. First rounders and second rounders.
There you go. That'll show us up for the next 3-4 years.
Next 5 years, you got a team that's going to walk through the whole thing. You can bring all the brutes that you want, which is what LA's going to do. They're going to bring all these brutes and foulers so LeBron can play his game and don't have to foul nobody. But it ain't going to matter when we got Joel Embiid. We're just going to walk right through you.
Yeah. He's the only one that can compete with the Bucks, you know.
He's the only one. He's the only one that can compete with Giannis. Mm-hmm. Giannis can't stand up to it's an uneven match in the fact that Giannis is faster. But if you give him the ball down the block, Brook Lopez or Giannis, whichever one you put on him, can't stand up to what he's going to do to him. He's going to kill any one of those two. He's the only guy that Giannis can't guard in the NBA.
Right.
You win that chess match.
That's it.
All right, well, we got to let Mr. James. Mr. James, are we going to lunch today?
We are.
All right. So we better get off the air so we can make some time. I'm hungry, man. Yesterday was my birthday. Mr. James is taking me out to lunch. Merry Christmas, everybody. Oh, sorry. It's not even done.
Merry Christmas.
Anyway. Listen, everybody in America and from Algeria to Zimbabwe, have a good time. This is Amazing Great Sports Network reaching out to you saying we had a great time. What kind of music? Listen, give me some. How about warm it up, Chris? Since it's so darn cold in Boston. Mr. James is playing hip hop now.
Ain't gonna hurt nobody.
Oh my God. Rick? Just play the original, man. Just play the original. The intro to the original Ain't Gonna Hurt Nobody is off the chain. We'll come in with that next time.
All right, y'all. Have a great week.
All right. Have a great week, everybody. We'll see you on Tuesday. Ciao.